Hello everyone. I often get asked which is my favourite tattered lace collection or the one I'm most proud of, and I absolutely have to say that today this one has just leapt into the lead. It's called Sakura Falls. It's a fabulous collection. I'm going to show you that in more detail, but what you've got here is something that is, for me, the essence of that look and feel that we strive for when we're looking for Oriental cards. Now, we've got the fan shape, which is one of the Craftmaster main dies, but also the artwork here. I'm going to get into that artwork straight away because it's the thing that I think makes this collection. Don't forget, downloadable at highlightcrafts.com, and I'm just going to go through these boards with you. Here she is, the first of Our Lady. She's called Serenity. I think she is absolutely exquisite. Her colours are soft and gentle. She's very, very elegant. And you have to see her in real life to see the true beauty of this. Put behind that tattered lace, that pure tattered lace, and then the blossom, she just looks stunning. And of course, she's also been decoupaged as well. And then we move on to Grace, and wow, look at the grace and elegance and the movement in that gown. You can see as she walks, the lace just would be literally flowing behind her. It's floaty, it's delicate, the cut of the sleeve, the actual umbrella, every bit of it is everything that we're looking for when we're looking for a beautiful collection. And then we start looking at other elements. Now, I'm going to come back to the blossom and the frame, and we're just going to look at this one to start with. This is the first of the actual frame scenes, and this one is called Sakura Sunset. And I'm just going to draw your attention to these. These are actually a little freebie if you bought from Crate and Craft. But isn't that exquisite? You're working with this as a die, but you can build it up and get extra dimension with it. I'm going to show you some stunning samples. I can't really talk about this enough because it is such a beautiful collection. And here is that Sakura Sunset in its completeness. You've got the oval to cut into it. This is our link system. It is just, that is your card front in one piece. The next part of the design we've got is our second one, and this one is Sakura Falls. So we've got Sakura Sunset and Sakura Falls. Again, lots of dimension in here. Depending on what kind of paper you print it on, you're going to get beautiful effects. This is all part of the reflection. So you've got that sunset and that fall going with it. Again, exquisite artwork. Cut into, it looks beautiful. It's shapely, allows you to decoupage it and build up the design. Then we look at our flower rain. Now, this is literally raining flower petals. Isn't that exquisite? Layered up over the top. It's a massive cherry blossom. This is the tree in its full bloom. The gold behind it just brings that little bit of element to it and gives it an extra little bit of sparkle. And it's almost like the sunlight is catching the petals. It looks so beautiful. Next one I've got for you is Flower Haze. Now, Flower Haze is designed to be for you to build your own bouquets using one or two of the petals of the flowers or using all of them. You're going to be able to enhance your design. And then I've got Sakura Lace. We saw that in the very beginning. That lace panel, just enough to remind us that this is a tattered lace collection, and that very, very fine detail that we do so well here, and that we give you that delicateness that is everything about this brand. And now it gets exciting. These are our lanterns. Now, there are festive lanterns. You can nested, I beg your pardon, our nested lanterns. You're going to see these in a lot of different sizes. There are 14 different dies here of different sizes. We've given you the reflection. There are more available at highlightcrafts.com. The sizes mean that these are your individual card shapes. They're lanterns hanging from your cards. They're lanterns actually as apertures, and you're seeing all of those right down to these tiny sizes. And imagine those just hanging in the trees amongst all the blossom in those beautiful pinks. That is going to look stunning. And of course, if you were cutting those from vellums, you could be putting lights behind them. And this is the nested fan. Now, there are 21 dies in this, so it's a big, big collection. And what we've also done is we've given you it with a scene. Now, print that out onto vellum. We're going back to where we started the show, and you can see that vellum. It's been pleated, it's been creased. I've cut a couple of these and just joined them at the back there. Then you've got them in different sizes, so I'm going to keep on with this one. And these get smaller and smaller until we get down to the very, very tiny and the smallest of these, which when they're concertinaed up, could you imagine having that actually just in her hand, that tiny fan concertinaed, giving you into there? So you've got all of those. And then finally, this is Tory Gate. And Tory Gate's a set of 7 dies, and it frames the design. It gives you every element that you need. And what's so exciting about this collection is you can bring in things like your cadence paints. You can make your own backgrounds, make your own sunsets and sunrises. It is exquisite. Right, let's take a look at a couple of finished samples before I get into showing you how to build one. So I'm going to take them and lay them down. This is a perfect example of that lantern used as an aperture. And then taking the Minecraft Studio elements of it to create your own background, because there is a USB available. And then building up the story and decoupaging up your scene. And we talked about how you might build up bouquets. Now, this gives you the chance to build up this bouquet in as much dimension as you want. So that flower haze frames the top of the card. You've got the blossom coming down into the shape of it. And then we've got one of those little mini lanterns. And if you're fortunate enough to get one of those gifted free dies, then the little tassels look fabulous. So then I'm going to move into the next one. And what's so exciting is that every single one of these cards is so different. Every one of them has got so many features. Every time you look at it, you see something else. There is a blossom. This time it's growing upwards. It's behind. It's tucked in lots of different places. Here's another one. You know, we've got the lanterns. Lanterns literally hanging free off the edge of the Tory Gate. The lace poking out from inside, just giving us layers. The Tory Gate is the detail here. And I've got one last one, which shares with you the fan. And that fan doesn't have to be the full size. Look at how it works to make those small ones. A little bead or a button or an embellishment to just finish it off, and you've got the elements there. And the lace expanded to fill the back of the card and fill in the gaps. So I've got a project for you. And this one utilises the fan in a completely different shape. So cut twice. Then cut again to create the mats and layers, centered in the middle. So I'm just going to open this up so you can see how it's been done. And it has been glued and overlapped. And then the square has been put in the center. So let's look at the layering that we would do here. So first of all, it's all been cut out. And we've chosen to cut the first of this out in white, and then we've got a mixture of colours. So the fan has been cut in white card 4 times. You need 4 of these. You then stick 2 of them together so that they overlap. Once you've stuck the first 2 together, put that down onto your piece of card. get the next two pieces, which again will be white, and overlap them so that that centre aperture is exactly the same, so it all lines up perfectly, so that you know you've got two identical glued panels. Then we're going to glue up the top. You're going to glue about 1 centimetre, and we're going to then score it across the back in a straight line so that we've created our tent card. It's very, very simple. Then you'll take the next size of the dies, and we're going to cut that so that it fits it just inside the design, and that too will overlap in the centre. We then take the printed element, so that one will sit inside there, and do the same on this side. And at this point, it doesn't matter which way you overlap this, because that is actually going to get covered by our square. And then I just want to show you how important that black square is, because when I put this on here, it sort of gets lost. So what we need to be doing is taking our black square, and for reference, that square is about 13.5 centimetres square. That's going to sit in the middle of the design. The next part of it, which is cut down to 13 centimetres, so we've got a very fine, very delicate, very elegant frame around the edges, is going to go just there. And as you're doing yours, obviously you'll be gluing, so you'll be lining all these elements up and getting it. And I would be using my bookbinding glue and getting a really nice fine edge of that, so that it gives me a really good finish on here. Then a little bit of foam, perhaps on the black, to just lift it a tiny bit so that it's a little bit higher. And you can see how we're creating some shadows this side. Next, we go to our die cut. So this has been cut using the outside edge of the die. So when you get your dies, you will find inside here you've actually got the outline die, and that's why we do give you those outlines, because they're so useful for elements like this. And that is going to sit on top there, so it's going to give us that depth and dimension. So we're going to get the foam on the back of it. You could, if you chose to, offset it slightly so you've got a little shadow. That's an option for you, and it will shadow either way, but we're not going to do that. We're literally going to line this up on the top. Then you're going to take your design and cut this one 3 times. The first one will go directly on top. The second one is going to get decoupaged up, so we get more dimension. And the third one will get decoupaged again. So by this time, we're literally lifting this quite a way off the top. And then I've also got another element of it, which is part of one of the other designs that we've got. So I've got Sakura Falls, and I've also got Sakura Sunset. So this is part of the Sakura Sunset. So we've got 2 options. I can leave that as it is, or you can snip into it with the layers, or I can take the first panel. I can then place this one behind it. So I've got one on there already. Then I've got my Sakura Sunset. Then I start to build up the design again and add extra detail to it. So really, it's up to you at what point you add in the sunset. Do you put it in right at the beginning, or do you put it in after the first layer? But wherever you put it, you're going to get a fabulous result. And it may be that you just want to do it flat. Take the whole thing flat and send that as it is. But it does look particularly exciting when you've got that dimension. So lots and lots of ideas for you of ways that you can use this beautiful collection. And we'd love to see what you've done with yours. So show us on Facebook, use our Pinterest. Don't forget to join and subscribe to our YouTube channel at Highlight Crafts. And find those downloads, because when you get into the downloads, you'll see there are so many other colorways and options that you could have to be working with your collections. So we look forward to seeing you more at Highlight Crafts Academy. We hope you get to join us for a face-to-face class. Please check us out. But in the meantime, enjoy this collection because we're really proud of this one.
If you want to see more from Highlight Crafts, make sure you click the like button. Subscribe by clicking the subscribe button below and click the bell icon to receive notifications of all of our future content. You can also click here to see our latest video or click here to see more videos like this one.